This time on Outplayed, Flave, Lursen, and Errik discuss 6 ways to keep improving when improvement seems impossible. Zip lines, tracking, and mortar strikes are also apparently dream superpowers, and everyone agrees that shield domes have untapped potential.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another week of Outplayed. My name is Flave.
And I'm Errik.
And I'm Lursen. And today, it's hump day!
Hump day!
Alright, so it might not be hump day, but we are going to talk about getting over the hump in playing Apex. We all hit that little hump and we can't quite get any better, but wait, we can. So we're going to be talking about getting a little bit better, but first, we have a question from Elmer Fudd Gaming. And Elmer Fudd would like to know, if you could have the power of any champion in the real world, what would it be and what would you do? Errik?
Ooh, I get to go first. Pathfinder. Because, zip lines.
So, what are you going to do with zip lines in the real world?
Well, I'm going to do a hell of a lot more with zip lines in the real world than I'm going to do with, calling in giant mortar strikes.
I don't know, man. Those lines at the grocery store sometimes. Just call that in.
Yeah, right. Well, there's that. So I'm just going to zip my way right past everybody and go out the door. Try to catch me, fools.
All right. I can see that. All right, cool.
No,
cool.
I honestly, just to be able to swing around and do the Spider-Man thing would be kind of frippin' cool. Presuming that I can land without breaking both of my ankles, totally cool.
Well, I mean, you get their powers, so I assume that's part of it. You get robotic legs. Congratulations.
Oh, cool. So I get the Pathfinder part of it as well, so I get to tell where the circle's going and stuff?
Yes, you can tell where storms are going to be. You're going to be a great meteorologist on zip lines.
No, that's awesome. I have zero sense of direction, and my wife always teases me about it. Now I could just throw down and be like, darling, we go over there.
Wait, back to the grocery store. That means you also have to stand in front of everybody and go, I just polished my grapple.
Yeah. I mean, you guys don't do that already?
Hey, wait a minute. This is safe for work, man. Come on.
All right, Flave.
I'll go next. I already responded to him with this, but I want the power that Bloodhound has to see random ass crows everywhere, because I love shitting myself around every corner.
Interesting take. I'm not sure how that's going to make your life better, but I'm not here to judge you.
Hey, there was nothing about making his life better, man. It was just about, what would you want?
Cool. You would like to be followed around by birds. I mean, you could probably do that. You just keep a bunch of bread in your pocket or something.
Caw.
All right, so I would have the powers of Lifeline. Be kind of nice, get in a car wreck, get shot, just run a little drone, and I'm all better. It's cool, guys. It's cool.
What do you do in your life? I was thinking about Lifeline as well, but I was thinking, well, what is the last time that I actually had to do that kind of stuff?
No way, man. I'm going to start a fucking bar fight and just start beating some people up. And be like, all right, guys, gather around. No one calls the cops. I heal us all.
Although, to be fair, honestly, I did actually, CPR didn't work on a guy I did once, so that felt really bad, actually.
What? Wow, this guy grim.
Yeah, you brought down the room.
Yeah, sorry, man. That's first responder humor right there.
Jesus.
Right, so, yeah. Let's just go ahead and...
That's the episode, guys.
That's a wrap.
Yeah.
I mean, let's bring it back. I could also have her ability just to drop a random care package full of shit that I don't know what it would be in it.
It's got Cheetos!
Cheetos! Dude, I was totally thinking Cheetos as well. I was thinking Cheese Puffs, but Cheetos, that's even better.
I mean, this might say something about us, but I was thinking Doritos.
Well, they're all orange.
It's true. Same thing.
Oh, wow. That's a callback.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. On that weird note, let's take a break.
Hey y'all, I'm Fast Frankie of Fast Frankie's Used Gun Barn and Ammo Surplus. And the All-Father in his infinite wisdom put me here for one reason and one reason only. To sell you used and refurbished guns at low prices. That's right, I've got your P2020s and your RE45s. And just in today, the Wingman. That's right, you don't even have to fire him off for him to make you look good, because he is your wingman. What's that? You're looking for something with a little more kick? Well, don't you worry, Fast Frankie knows what you like. For a limited time, we are doing 20% off on all Hemlock, Spitfires, and Flatlines. That's right, if it's spitting heavy ammo, then it is on sale. But you need to move fast, because once we're gone, they're gone. But wait, for you legends out there, if you bring us proof of your last victory, and your latest pay stub, we can get you the Mastiff Shotgun at the low price of 5,000 Apex coins. This little beauty will fire off a line of death and show everybody around that you are the alpha dog. But wait, do you feel that? The weather is a-changing. That's right, it's a whole new season here at the Apex Games, and in honor of the Wild Frontier, we're doing 0 down and no interest for 30 days. Now that's a deal that anybody can get behind. So if you like what you're hearing, come on down. Look for the giant sign 20 miles west of Kings Canyon. If you see the Walmart, you've gone too far.
All right, we are back. We're talking about humping. Wait, what? We're talking about we're talking about getting over, that hump everybody hits, getting better, that plateau, and how do we actually get over it? So we actually got some info. Lursen, where'd you get this? Course finders?
Yeah, course finders. I think they're basically for learning a new language or like high-level mathematics, but I kind of adapted it to applied to gaming. I think it still fits.
Yeah, absolutely,
man. It definitely does. So we've got 6 steps here that we're going to outline of how to get over the hump. We're going to start with accept it.
Dun, dun, dun. Acceptance is always the first step.
Wow. I'm going to have to say, this is not an intervention, right?
Well, we all 3 read the notes, so I don't know who this is for.
It's actually probably for me, because I got to say that one of the hardest things about recognizing that there's a plateau or a hump, if you will, is that there is actually one, right? And then accepting that it's just going to be a hump and not getting down on myself.
Yeah, we were talking before, and it's worth pointing out that it's a hump. It's not, you haven't reached your pinnacle. You're not as good as you're ever going to be. You've just hit a little hump and just need to get over it, and you'll see a lot more progress.
So what happens if we don't accept it?
If you don't think that you're doing a hump, then you're not going to change what you're doing. You're not going to push forward. You're just going to keep doing the same thing and getting the same result.
So let's bring it back to that whole thing we've been talking about over the last couple of weeks. I know that's not in our notes, but I feel it's relevant. When we talk about our measures, if our measures are not changing dramatically, for whatever your process is or whatever strategy you've chosen, then that means that you've kind of plateaued, or that may be a hump. And it could also just be something that you feel, right? If you're not really relying on measurements to be able to identify if you're making progress, if you just feel like you're not getting someplace, or if you want to get better and you're just like, man, what the hell is happening? Welcome to your hump.
It can be as simple as like every single time you die, it's because the third team in killed you. Well, it's not their fault. I know we all say, fuck that third team, but it's not their fault. You could have done something differently. You could have been better positioned. So that's just one more thing you might have to think about. So if you're just making the same mistake every single time, it's time to change it up.
Yeah, well, that's probably where I am with this stuff right now, honestly, is I'm kind of at a plateau. I think I may have crested over it last night, but I do feel like I'm not making the progress that I was looking for, and it's actually caused me to question whether I should switch up my strategy. So I have accepted that I've got it, that I've got a plateau or a hump right now.
So great. That brings us to step 2.
Oh, okay.
You have to decide whether or not you care. Do you want to get better? Because this whole thing is just moot if you don't feel like getting better. Because it's going to take a lot of time and a lot of hard work. So if you don't care, then go on, have fun. But
relentless improvement. Right.
If you want to get better, you have to decide to push.
And we talked about this, a couple episodes ago or whatnot. Whenever we go down, we have a squad wipe or whatnot. We are actually really good at saying, hey, what did we do wrong there? What could we have done better? That's exactly what you need to do here whenever you decide to get over that hump. You need to constantly identify your weak points and your problem areas because those are places you can easily get better, and you'll probably get over the hump if you can fix some of these issues.
Well, I mean, it really does get back to what we were talking about. It's almost funny that we're talking about this hump day stuff right now as opposed to a couple weeks ago. But it really works well in with the process that we've defined, because part of this whole notion of pushing forward is identifying, what is that hump, figuring out where you're going to do next. And, that involves all the steps that we talked about. It goes, record yourself and make sure that you actually are watching it. It's not just a montage moment. It's actually a lesson learned sort of moment. Or get a friend to come in and do a kind of an intervention with you and say, hey, why? Why are you having this issue? What's going on? Do all that whole round of whys.
I do want to go back to what Flave said about at the end of every match, how we have a group discussion on how we could have been better. So it's worth pointing out that we do not point fingers at each other. It's like, we don't say, well, I think that Flave really tanked that one.
Because we all know it. It doesn't need to be spoken.
No, I think we're really good about saying, I think I tanked that one. So.
Yeah, I made a bad call. I pushed. I shouldn't have. I apologize. That was my bad. But if somebody's not saying that was me, my bad, it's don't call them out on it. Just, that you think that they messed up, but it's not worth calling them out and making them feel bad. Unless they are trying to get better and they've asked for your opinion.
Flave, what was it that Teddy said last night? He said, don't apologize, just do better?
Yeah, exactly. But also, that's an area of improvement for yourself. Whenever your teammate is, dicking around doing something wrong, you can figure out ways that you can actually make that situation better. Because chances are you're not always going to be playing with a full squad. We all know that blueberries are all terrible. Even the ones that have 3,000 kills. Every time I get into a match with a Wraith, because it's always a Wraith that has 3,000 kills, I'm like, yeah, we're going to do good. The guy's always terrible, pushing off by himself, doing stupid stuff. I'm like, wow, you're really just relying on your gun skill. You have no other abilities in this game other than gun skill.
Yeah.
I do not get the fascination with guys with 3,000 kills, dropping solo at the bunker. Yeah, they wiped a squad, then they died. And we were nowhere near them to revive them. What did you accomplish there? What was the point?
Well, you should have dropped bunker with him, right? I mean, he's making that call. I think I sometimes wonder about this. We rail about these blueberries sometimes, but man, this is kind of a tangent. But sometimes I wonder if it's just because all the three of us and the wider range of our friends, we all get a chance to play together on a routine basis. But with these blueberries, this is typically it's the first time we've ever encountered them, and so there's that whole we don't get this chance to form understand how that other person plays. So we do have a lot of frustrations because they're not playing like we play.
So if he's jump master and he marks bunker and he jumps, I'm going to follow him. But if I'm jump master, I mark pit and the other guy says okay, and then he still goes to bunker by himself, it's not our job to break off and then follow him to bunker.
Oh, absolutely not.
He's just a terrible teammate.
Good, screw him. Yeah, so that's definitely the blueberry worth railing against. That's what
I keep running into. He's not jump master. He's breaking off from us and heading towards bunker by himself.
Yeah, so in that situation, you actually do have a chance to learn because you are going to have to make up for the shortcomings of squad mates. Maybe it's a lot because you only play solo. Maybe it's every once in a while because you usually have a full squad. But that also is a place of improvement. So just view it in that lens.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for circling us back around to the topic because, that was a really good point that you made about us talking about the stuff at the end of each match. And, I'm glad that and then you can actually incorporate that into, I see that if I disagree with something that somebody's done, I try to take a harder look at it. Why is it that I'm disagreeing with what somebody has done? And I try to determine if that's something that I can learn from as well. Or what would I have preferred them to do? And that maybe can inform me a little better on what it is that I actually like to do or how I'm trying to get better myself.
And then we each have our own set of gamer instincts. A lot of times we don't consciously, logically have a reason to go where we went or to approach that gunfight exactly how we did. It's just instinct. You know, we've all played a ton of shooters. I feel like there's very few of us or in the listener base that Apex is their first shooter. And so you have all of these instincts and skills that have been built up over probably years. Maybe your instincts are very different from somebody else's, and your instincts will actually benefit you in a set of situations, and theirs will benefit them in a completely different set of situations. So it is a chance to learn, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, totally. And in terms of, deciding to push forward on this stuff, it's really about determining, we've always are talking about trying to push stuff, bring stuff up from the subconscious and then push it back down into the subconscious. Take instinct and turn it into a thoughtful process and then restore it to its kind of an instinctual level. So when you decide how to push forward, it's going to take some hard work. It's going to take time. We're all going through the process right now. But the main thing that we've got backing us up or bolstering us in this decision is the decision to push forward. It's just like, okay, if you care about it, do something about it, right?
Let's break it down real quick. We've accepted that we have a problem, and now we've decided that we want to do something about it. So we're going to start putting in some really hard work. But step number 3 is you're going to have to take a break.
That's not hard work.
Well, to avoid
sometimes
burnout,
it is, though, man. I mean, sometimes
to
it is hard to
avoid
put it
burnout,
down.
you got to take a break.
Yeah, right. I mean, how many of us have been sitting there at the end of the night and be like, just one more game, man. Oh, I can't go out like that. Just one more game. Just one more game.
That
We're
game
gamers,
didn't count.
we totally do that, right?
Yeah. So if you're getting tired at the end of the night and you're not going to be playing better, you're just getting more tired, you're going to get it worse, and you're going to play worse, and you're going to feel worse. Just take a little break. Maybe play a different game. Like, if you grind the same game every single night, it's just gonna burn you out, and you're not gonna love playing the game that you used to love.
Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I like to just do a completely different activity. Today, I went hiking.
What?
That is the opposite of Apex. I came back and, completely refreshed, felt good. It's, you need that change of pace every once in a while, because sitting around in your gaming chair for 6 hours every night, it weighs on you mentally and physically.
I call bullshit. Redheads do not hike. It is a known fact.
No, he took a photograph, man. He knew you were going to say that. He was like, Pixar didn't happen. He totally was like, all right, I'll get the entire family in here. We'll take a shot. Yeah, but that's good, solid advice. Take a break. If you're starting to feel the pressure of it and you're wondering why you can't get any farther along or why you're at this plateau, maybe it's time to just take a break off and let your brain restore itself a little bit. Sometimes this, your brain's, I think, Flave, you said before that, the brain is this amazing thing. Even when you're not doing the thing that you're trying to get better at, you're still getting better at it. All that learning that you've put into play has started to solidify, and it'll start to, make those neural pathways or whatever you want to call them. You probably will come back refreshed. So
think of it this way. I kind of just thought of this. So when you're trying to think of like an actor's name and all of a sudden it's gone, no matter how hard you think about it, you will not remember that guy's name.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. Like if you take a break, stop thinking about it. A half an hour later, you'll be sitting on the toilet and be like, boom! That's his name.
I was just thinking that's kind of what happens with all my coworkers. I can never remember the damn names.
All right, well, on to the next step.
On that note,
good transition, my friend. That is expert A+ podcasting.
Oh, fuck you guys.
All right, so what's step number 4, buddy?
Loosen up. We've talked about having the right mindset. But it's a thing. It really is. You have to approach the game with the right attitude, good state of mind, being positive, things like that. Like Lursen said, if you're too tired, that won't work. So if you're getting frustrated, calm your happy ass down.
That does not work when my wife is getting frustrated and I tell her to calm down. It never works. I don't understand.
Well, she's got to have the buy-in for it, I guess, right? It doesn't work with mine either. It doesn't work when she tells me that either.
So last night, I did this. I was getting a little bit frustrated, so I threw on some music in the background. and just kind of just relaxed a little bit. Didn't take it nearly as seriously. And man, we ended up having a really good night after that.
You know, I really got to commend you for that, buddy, because one of the things that we've often joked about with you is that you'll kind of erupt and then and we all love you for it anyway, but later on you'll come back and be like, dude, sorry. But last night you totally headed it off at the pass, just like you said you were going to try to do. And so big fucking gold star for you, buddy.
So like Flave did, listen to some music, just run around the house real quick, do a lap, just clean your damn house. I don't know. Do something.
So actually I've started, we talked a little bit about it last time too, but we're doing push-ups and sit-ups and things like that in between matches as well. I find that if I can burn off a little bit of that energy, it totally works, right?
I think that brings us safely to number 5, which is change it up. If you're doing the same thing over and over again, you're going to get the same result. That's just fact. So, try something new. If you want to try a new gun or a new character, try a new playstyle, just something to do something different.
Yeah, if you guys noticed last night, also when I turned my music on, I switched from Bloodhound to Lifeline.
Yeah, and then there was this weird point that you switched over to Gibraltar as well. That was crazy.
Dude, he can be really good sometimes. You have to play him a different way, but first off, his super is a beast.
Yeah, I gotta say,
it's great.
It is. I think he's the guy because lately I've been maining Bangalore because I was kind of stuck on Lifeline for a while, but I think I want to switch over to Gibraltar. I want to get better at him. I mean, okay, jokes about his hitbox aside, that shield. I want to be able to use those shields in a correct moment. You know what I mean?
Are you talking about his dome or his gun shield?
Both actually, but the dome more specifically. I mean, the gun shield obviously, but I'm thinking about different ways to use that gun shield. But the dome in particular, I want to get good at first.
That dome, Flave got killed by a guy the other day, and it was complete bullshit because he walked forward to just barely the tip of his gun was sticking outside that dome, and he was just shooting out of it, and it was bullshit.
See, that's awesome.
Yeah, that is a pro tip. You can stay completely safe inside your dome and still shoot outside of it.
See, I feel like that's a total Gibraltar thing to do, dude. I mean, that's just okay. So it's cheesy as shit, but it's also highly effective as a tactic. That's hats off to him.
It kind of makes the dome actually evil because even when we used to play Destiny 1, a Titan would pop his stupid little bubble. I'd run in there with a shotgun, shoot him in the face, and then laugh as I rolled away. Like, it's the only way that dome is useful is if he can shoot out of it somehow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and we still do that now. As soon as I see a Gibraltar shield, I run directly into it.
Yeah, I mean, if you can throw out a layer of smoke so he can't see you coming, by the time you're there, it's too late for him. He can't fight back.
So I totally have this vision of Bangalore throwing down a smoke and then us throwing down the dome in that smoke in the moments when things are just hitting the fan and we're all down, our shields are knocked out and all that stuff, just to be able to do a defensive barrier. And the combination of the smoke and the dome seems like it might work out, depending.
And then throw out a healing robot in the middle of that dome.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so that is one of the times that you can actually, wait for it, outplay somebody. I've done that exact thing, and I've ran through the bubble, came back into the bubble, back in, back out, and just people were trying to chase me, but I was getting shots off and then changing my my plane with them. I don't know. It's kind of hard to describe it in podcast form, but I would run out so they couldn't hit me. Then during my reload, and then I would run back in and take my shot and go back outside so I could reload outside again.
So it's kind of turning the bubble inside out. That's a pretty sweet idea, dude.
Yeah, so you can use all the different sides. So just run all the way through the bubble, come back the other direction, just keep changing where you are. So don't just stand in the bubble and take it. When they come in the bubble, shoot them, then go out of the bubble, and then you're protected again while you reload.
See, I was doing that something similar the other day where, I was having this chasing match in and out of the bubble with a lifeline. She would jump out of the bubble, I would shoot her, and then I'd jump into the bubble. She'd follow me into the bubble, I'd jump back out of the bubble, shoot her, she came out. And it actually worked out for me in the long run.
Yeah, that is a great use of bubble.
Okay, that's it. I'm sold. Gibraltar's going to be my next one.
All right. So the one side of your nut box is going to get pretty full.
I hope people
as
know
long
the
as you
context
go down
of that.
inside your bubble, it'll be great.
Yeah, I hope people understand that context.
I was about to say,
I hope
this
they
is
don't.
the first episode.
I hope they have no idea. That's how we get them to go
Erik's
back and listen to
nut box.
previous episodes.
All right, so changing it up really is what we're talking about, right? And then the other thing you can do is maybe watch some videos on what it is that people are doing that address your issue, right? So, there are a ton of videos out there. Rain Day Gaming actually does a bunch of really great videos. I want to call out to him. Top 5 things you can do to keep from getting your ass whooped. So if you've hit that plateau and you're kind of searching around for things to try out, take a look out there. Somebody else is smart. Or, I don't know, listen to a podcast.
If they hear this, they are currently listening to a podcast.
I'm all about that fourth
Listen
wall.
to
man.
it again.
I love the fourth wall. It's awesome. So.
All right. So that brings us to number 6. Fight and grind. Don't give up because
What do you mean by
it's going to
grind?
be a hard road.
Yeah.
What I mean by grind? I'll draw you a picture and send it over.
All right. So, but seriously, what are you talking about with fighting and grinding?
Fight and grind. So that means it's going to get hard. It's going to be rough. Just keep pushing forward. Take your breaks when you need to, but always come back and just keep practicing because that is the only way you are going to get any better.
Yeah, I think that keeps us from turning a break into a long vacation, right? Right? You can take a break, but you don't just give up. It's still part of all the preceding steps where you've got this relentless improvement that you're trying to finish off.
And I do want to say that typically from what I've seen and experienced, you get over a hump suddenly and without any prior notice. So you'll just be, plugging along, doing the same shit you've always done. And then the next day, you're way better than you were before. It's inexplicable.
It comes in waves. It's like you're only so good, and then you get a lot better. Unfortunately, you're probably going to hit another hump, but you do the same thing, follow the steps, and you should get over that hump and just that much better.
It's funny we keep talking about this as like a hump or a plateau because I've always likened this to hitting a wall, right? And then I have to find the door in the wall or the window in the wall, or I have to just bust down the wall because that's what it feels like to me. All of a sudden, the landscape is open and I'm free to roam. Whereas before I was beating my head up against a wall.
I always think of it more like pushing a big ass rock up a hill. And then every once in a while the hill levels off and you gotta get a little break.
Lursen getting all Sisyphean.
Oh, very nice.
Someone read their Greek mythology.
Man, fantastic, man.
Alright, so let's do a full coverage here. So, number 1, we accepted that we have a problem. Number 2, we decided to push forward because we care about getting better. Number 3, if we have to, we take a little break. And number 4 kind of works into that. We're going to listen to some music, loosen up a little bit, get our attitude in the right place, so that when we do number 5, which is try something new, we're in the right mindset. For number 6, don't give up.
Lursen, this is really great, man. I know this was great. Thanks for bringing. Lursen's the one that brought this topic up for us, and I've been looking forward to this all week.
You would.
Oh, come on, come on, man.
Give me a compliment. I'm coming at you.
All right. Well, on that note, let's just take a freaking break, okay?
We got some stuff to work out. Later, guys.
The Frontier War is over. For decades, the Interstellar Manufacturing Corporation and the Frontier Militia fought over our worlds, our lands. That war is done. We finally can breathe our own air, look to our own stars. We own these lands, these skies, these worlds. These worlds are the Outlands, home of the brave and free. We make our own fate here. Untouched by war and famine, these are the lands of plenty. But we all know plenty comes with a price. You want something? You better be able to take something. Do you think you deserve the best? The Apex Games give you the place to take from the best, to be the best. Here in the Outlands, we earn everything by proving we deserve to own it. Apex Games. Are you legendary?
All right, guys, we are back, And it turns out we have been busy this week. We've set up a whole bunch of stuff, starting with we now have a Patreon. And the reason we have a Patreon is because turns out we got a lot of listeners, kind of more than we expected. And we want to make this podcast as good as possible for all of you. So we're setting more things up. We're doing a little bit more. And so we need some help with the operating costs, if you would all be so kind.
We also started a t-shirt campaign. So for your money, you can get a pretty awesome hoodie. We have some t-shirts. I think we have some tank tops and a pretty cool coffee mug.
And the reason we did both is not to double dip, but we wanted to give you guys the option. If you do want to support us, you can either do so by getting pretty cool merch, or you can just do the Patreon route. Completely up to you. But the big one is we have started a community. We want to connect with you all on a regular basis. We want to, find out where you are on your journey, because honestly, it's going to help us with our journey, and hopefully we can help you even more. So we have a Discord.
Absolutely. The essential piece of what we do here as a squad is to be a squad. And we've always wanted to be able to invite people in. And it's actually in our vision statement for what we want out of this podcast. Because yes, we do the process for the podcast just like we do for our own gameplay. And so if you guys feel like you want to come in and hang out with us, Twitter's obviously a great place to do that. But if you really want to hang out with us and maybe even game alongside us, or find other people who have the same sorts of relentless improvement ideals, or just want to get together and have a good time, and you want to find other people who also want to have that, to me, has been one of the most important parts of all of this podcasting nonsense. Why spend the time talking to you all if we're not also going to listen to you and hang out?
We really just want to find like a place where people can get together, get better together, and not have all the toxic nonsense that comes with learning. Because if you drop in with blueberries, you're trying out one of our things, like you're trying to move more, so you're not getting as many kills, you're getting downed. You have blueberries who are just flaming you, constantly making fun of you. We want to have a community where that's not a thing. You can fail without being mocked.
And that's what we've had for the past few years. We were lucky enough to find a really good community, and we've made really good friends. All three of us found each other through a Discord community. And we want to hopefully build that for you guys so you can find your perfect squad mates, just like Lursen did the ad for.
So basically, we are actually building our first ad.
Yeah, we are building legends only.
But the actual name of it is
Outplayed.com. Everything that we laid out previously, you will be able to find there. Everything's pretty quick and easy. We laid it out to where it's as simple as possible. So yeah, just head over there, outplayed.com. You'll be able to join the Discord, become a patron, buy a t-shirt, whatever you want to do.
I think Errik and I are going to take this time to just give Flave a round of applause for all the hard work he did on that website, man. I mean, come on.
Yeah, dude. Seriously.
We super appreciate it, man.
Yeah, dude.
He crushed it.
Hours of work, and I'm super happy about it. Yeah. Feels polished. Hope everybody else likes it as much as I do. And if you don't, y'all need to improve your taste.
All right. Well, we've gone on long enough about the housekeeping items. This has been a BOD community podcast. My name is Flave.
And I'm Errik. I'm still on Twitter. Same ERRIK Gaming.
And I'm Lursen. And guys, I don't think we have to do this anymore because we now have a website.
Oh, right.
Outplay.com, guys.
But nonetheless, our music is, as always, by the awesome Fugly88.
And hey, guys, keep on improving.